Today we're going to be doing a product review. What I've got here is a 42-inch curved light bar with 5D lenses from Rigidhorse. It is exactly the same light bar as the Autofeel 42-inch 5D light bar. I actually purchased the Autofeel first. It showed up damaged, the box got crushed, and when I was going to reorder it, I looked at Rigidhorse and convinced myself it was the same, and it showed up in exactly the same box. When you look at the two ads on Amazon, they've got exactly the same picture in one of the graphics. So they're the same light, come with the same hardware, everything. So this review will cover both products. So I've got the light bar sitting here on the front of my Subaru rally car, just for size comparison. And if you hit the subscribe button, I'll show you in one of the next episodes how I'm going to get this mounted to the car. But as you can see, with these 5D LED bulbs, they actually have a lens over the LEDs. The ones on the outside here are floods, and the ones in the middle are spots. And it comes with a set of hardware. It's got the stands for the side with some rubber pads. It's got all the fasteners you need to mount this down to a flat surface, and then a whole pile of Allen wrenches. The cable comes with a nice plug. Everything looks really nice. It's got a good finish. Where the cable goes into the bar is really nice, looks nice and sealed. And that's supposed to be a pressure vent there on the side. And the brackets actually mount to this hole here, but it does have an extra hole back here. I think if you just mounted it here, the weight would be too much and it would rotate. So you definitely want to use this primary mount. And it also comes with a harness. It's got everything you need. There's a switch here with some double stick tape that you can mount inside the car. You got your battery terminals, it's got a fuse, your relay, and your waterproof connector. It's actually a very well-made harness. It uses heat shrink everywhere, and it's got a protective cover. And I'm really impressed. The wires are really pretty small. I'm surprised how small they are. From other reviews, these things don't put out nearly the power that they say they do, which doesn't really surprise me, and I'm assuming this cable is gonna work plenty good. One thing with these light bars is these fins seem like they get damaged very easily, and the reason I returned the first light bar was because these fins were severely damaged. This one looks pretty good, but you can see in a few spots here where they're not quite straight. They've definitely been damaged somewhat. There's a pretty good little bend here. The finish is pretty solid on them, so for the price I'm just going to straighten them up a little bit, but it would definitely be nice if they improved their packaging and you didn't have to deal with that kind of thing. One thing I noticed right away as soon as I started trying to assemble this is there's no washers included with this kit. There's also no locking feature on any of these fasteners, so we're definitely going to want to take care of that. For the 8mm bolts that go into the threaded holes in the end of the light, definitely want to get a lock washer. And then for the 6mm bolt that goes through the bracket into the hood or into your roof or however you're going to mount it, you're definitely going to want washers for that. And I'm going to pick up some locking nuts as well. These Allens are the safety head Allens that have a little button in the middle, and that's why they include all the Allen wrenches, so you've got the right tool. And I don't want to carry around any extra tools for the rally car. These are fine for a street car or something you're not planning on having to take on and off or adjust very often, but for me, I think I'm going to get rid of those. Alright, I've got the light bar installed. We've got the bolts in here nice and tight, really squishing down these rubber pads, so it should be about as stiff as it can get. Let's see what it does. Well, fortunately, kind of as expected, this is going to bounce all over the place, especially on a rally car going fast and hitting bumps. And if this is shining way down the road, I'll definitely notice that. A lot of people do it this way and they run it. I don't know if maybe the bumping, they just don't see it at night. But I don't really like that. I don't like that it's bouncing on the hood that way. So it looks like we're going to have to add some feet and put a couple extra bolts. Maybe hard mount it without the rubber pads. But I think once we spread it out, we can do 2 rubber pads. And this should be nice and stiff. The first test for comparison is my Daily Driver 2001 RS. That's standard headlights. And there are brights. And you can see fairly far down the road there's a turnway out there, but it's fairly shadowed and it's hard to see. So we'll compare it to the brighter headlights. Alright, here we are with that turn, about 100 yards out or so, with 130% Phillips bulbs in. Compared to the normal bulbs, they're fairly bright. Throw the brights on, and that throws some pretty good light down the road. For a daily driver, that would definitely be pretty good. And now let's hit the light bar. Holy cow, you can totally see the turn way down there. Definitely no problem going full speed. You wouldn't want this on a daily driver, you'd blind everyone. When I turn the headlights off completely, you lose a little bit of the foreground light, but in reality you can't really see that. It's so close to the car. That's not really a difference, and way out in the distance I can't even tell a difference even with the brights on. This light bar is actually very amazing. I'm very impressed for the money. If this thing holds up, it's going to be a great purchase. Let's go for a drive. I'm mostly concerned that I'm going to come around one of these turns and there'll be somebody there. I won't even see them coming. I'll never see their headlights. And I'll probably just blind them. This light's really good. Floodlights work well. I can see decently around the turns, where with the stock brights you couldn't see much. So far, very impressed with these. I can't wait to get these things up to full speed. This 42-inch Rigidhorse light bar is excellent for the money. For $140, the light shines way down the road. It's very bright. It's a very white light. The floods really light up the side of the car. You can see around the turns. Definitely an A+ for the light bar itself. It seems very sturdy. No complaints at all. The wire harness is also very well made, and it works good. The switch works right out of the box. The plug is waterproof, and I'm really happy with that. The only downside is the mounting hardware. One, it's missing the washers. It doesn't have a locking feature on the nuts, and these little brackets on the side I think are okay. I'm a little bit worried that they'll strip with just the one bolt in the end, so I'm going to actually make some extensions to tie into my custom brackets to tie into those threaded holes on the back of the light. For a street car, it might be okay with the supplied hardware and rubber pad, but just keep in mind that it will rock a little bit, and you may or may not notice that on the road. I just got done racing at night in the rally in the 100 Acre Wood, and it was amazing. Super long straightaways, high speed, over 100 miles an hour, huge crests, blind turns, and it was awesome. These lights worked amazingly well for the price. I never outran the light. The flood on it was really good. All the turns, even the tight ones, I never had any shadows. I highly recommend this product. Just look into that hardware. Also, it's a little bit on the heavy side, so if that's something you're concerned about, you might want to go for a higher end product. But otherwise, it's a great product. Hopefully this helped. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. I'll see you out there.